Hey there and welcome. I'm so glad that you are here today. Let's tune in to episode number 5 of the Get Rooted in Health podcast. Hey friend, welcome to the Get Rooted in Health podcast. I'm Gabby Flater, a faith-led wife, mom of 3, certified nutrition consultant, personal trainer, and passionate about changing lives. I know how frustrating it can be to navigate the health and wellness world. You want to be motivated to prioritize your well-being and wish you were more educated when it comes to cultivating a healthy home. Maybe you're a mom who's completely burnt out and needs a fresh perspective on life, or you're searching for a place to feel seen, heard, and encouraged in a godly manner. No matter if you're doing the dishes, getting your sweat on, or drinking reheated coffee while watching the kids play, there is always an opportunity for growth. If you are ready to finally take action about these desires and are ready to learn, grow, and transform your mind, then you are in the right place. It's time to establish deeper roots so you can enjoy a more fruitful and fulfilling harvest. Let's dig in. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another week. You have made it. Happy Monday. All right, we are starting off this episode with a rating review, and this one is from A. Clum. She says, "Inspirational Mama, I am so glad Gabby started this. I love sitting and listening to her faithful mindset. Over the years, Gabby has been sharing so much about health, exercise, and nutrition. This is an exciting way to learn and absorb more." Thank you so much, A. Clum. I absolutely love that you are looking forward to absorbing everything that I have to share and that you just enjoy sitting and listening to everything related to health and nutrition. So you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for leaving those reviews. If you have not yet done so, it means the world to me. It gets this podcast in front of more and more people, and that is my goal. That is my goal here, and I want to reach as many people as I can and change as many lives as I can here with this podcast. So today we are chatting about something that stood out to me on a business call that I had, a mentoring call. I wake up Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I have these amazing calls that have been going on since basically 2020 hit, and everything kind of went virtual. And even though working from home, a lot of it is virtual or online based, these calls really became the forefront of where we took our growth, our leadership, and our businesses. And this was a place to come and plug into free content, free leadership, free mentorship, free training. And I've been doing it ever since. So it's been 2 solid straight years that I have continued to show up for as many of these calls as I could, because I would not be where I am today without them. And, not many people have access to such things as that. And just so grateful for that. And one of the things that was talked about, since we are into a new month, it's April, and we were talking about waiting and why are you still waiting? And there is a quote that one of my mentors shared, and he said, "How you wait determines how long you wait." I'm going to say that again. How you wait determines how long you wait. And that really just resonated with me. Actually, to the point that I did a Facebook post, an Instagram post on it, and just kind of did a quick little, blurb on that. And I was like, I really need to talk about this on the podcast, because there's so much packed into that small little saying. And why it stuck with me, I think, is because I have played the waiting game. And guess what, guys? Nothing happens when you wait. Nothing happens. Okay? You can sit with your thoughts. You can think about, how you want something to go, the action you want to take or you should be doing. And if you don't actually do the thing, it's not going to happen. And I know that that's not, new news. This isn't like, something grandiose here. You guys, like, you know this, but guess what? We don't take action. Why don't we? Like I said in a prior podcast, we find it so much easier to sit in the comfort zone. We find it so much easier to sit in the negative, or the poor me, or the not right now, because then that just requires you to not have to do anything, if that makes sense. So the goal here is to actually start doing the thing, whatever the thing is for you, whether that is, reading your Bible, whether that is starting a garden, whether that is having a little more grace with your children in your motherhood journey, or whatever motherhood struggles you're going through. Maybe it's just taking that one step in the right direction of a new technique, or in the parenting role, because parenting littles is so hard. And when you have older kids too, how to navigate that. And so it's showing up for that. It's showing up for your fitness, for your health. How long are you going to keep waiting? What is going to be the thing? Is it going to be when you're finally diagnosed with something, or when you are at rock bottom? And guess what? Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom. We're all different. And when you hit rock bottom, sometimes people really just that's what they need, and I get that. But we kind of want to avoid getting to that point where you're just completely broken and tapped out, and you are desperate. And when you're sensing that desperation, take that as a sign of, like, I need to take some action. I need to start filling up my resources and do something about this, whether that's, like I said, financially, health-wise, parenting-wise, anything you want to start doing. Focus more on what you want to be doing rather than what you should not be doing. Again, see, this is the negative. We focus on, I shouldn't be doing this. Why am I doing this? I keep doing this. Focus on, I want to be this. I want to do this. I should, be working out. I really like to stay away from the word should and shouldn't. Like, I want to exercise, and really focusing on the positives. What can we be adding in rather than what are we doing already that we feel less than about? Like, let's just cut chase and get to the good part. Like, let's focus on what is the ideal you living like? What is the ideal you listening to? What is the ideal you watching? What is the ideal you consuming? What is the ideal you doing on a daily basis? And take action to get to that point. So again, how you wait determines how long you wait. The longer you are sitting in this waiting, how you are waiting, just keeps extending the waiting period. And you're just stuck in this revolving circle. And so often it's because we just don't want to get out of that comfort zone. And maybe you have tried and you have experienced hardships, or you've experienced challenges. And guess what? That meant you were on the right path. But I'm guessing maybe when you faced those challenges or those trials, or the negative comments, or the not so fast results, that you were like, I'm done. I gave it a try. Nothing happened. Blah, blah, blah. You played victim to it. But what if you shifted your mindset and thought about it as, when I face hardships and challenges, that those are actually a sign that I'm headed in the right direction? Because it is. That's a sign. When you face adversity, when you face challenges, when you face trials, that means you're headed in the right direction, because that means you're actually doing something new, guys. Mind blown, right? I can just see you guys. Mind blown. Okay. That right there is where the growth happens. So with anything new that you pursue or that you try, you are going to face resistance. It's natural. Okay? So natural. And I'll get into it. I mean, I've faced countless things. And I look back at it and how much I've had to push through, and the times when I just gave up, and I started again, or the times that I really pushed through those mental battles. And so much of it, guys, is in our brains. It's our mental state. And that is where you have to really begin to work on that mindset. So let's start to try and not be afraid of getting uncomfortable. What's the worst thing that could happen, guys? It's not like you're, most of us are not like doing things that are like crazy. Like, you can, that's awesome. But like, what's really on the line if you actually tried? What is on the line? Think about it. Is something going to hurt you? Is someone going to say no? Guys, I'm such a people pleaser, which I'm working on and have been working on. I like to keep the peace. I like to make everyone happy. And I realize I can't do that. And I just have to be me. And I have to move on and recognize not everyone and everything is for me or is going to be in my bubble of happiness and positivity, and let go of it, because that's okay. That's life. And that doesn't mean I have to change my energy and who I am because someone didn't fit into my world and I want them to. Like, I can only be me. Okay. So where I was going with that, totally lost my train of thought, but like, oh yeah, the worst thing is somebody could say no. Okay. I have faced that so much, and I have actually seen myself this year being more and more okay with like, I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to have the conversation. I'm just going to do this. And what's the worst that could happen? Someone could say no. Someone could really be mean and just say, screw you. But okay, bye. Like, okay, you didn't get hurt physically. You got battered and bruised a little bit emotionally, and, you can feel sad for a moment, but in the end, that's not your person. Okay. And you would have never known, and you wouldn't have gotten that off your chest if you wouldn't have had that conversation, if you wouldn't have done that thing, if you wouldn't have, asked the question. So just think about the thing that you want to pursue and what is the worst possible thing that could happen to you just from giving it a try. Like going to the gym, like buying a bag of lettuce and making yourself a salad for lunch. What's the worst that could happen? I don't know, maybe get a little bad gas or something because you're not used to eating vegetables. I don't know. Okay, well, that's the least of your problems, okay? So there's a little humor for you. I'm just trying to lighten it up because really, it's okay. And I know, like I've talked about, we live in such a fast-paced, impatient society. I have my moments too, but you have to realize where you are right now in life is not because of what happened overnight or over the course of a week or even a month. This right now where you are in life is because of what you have done over the course of years, okay? Not an overnight thing. So don't expect when you are trying to start your own business, when you are trying to get out of debt, when you are trying to get healthier. Maybe you need to lose weight for a specific reason. I'm guessing that where you are right now with your debt, your health, whatever, isn't because of a choice you made 12 hours ago. It was something you made over the course of a number of years. So you have to know that you have to start taking the steps now and let it build on itself over the weeks, over the days, over the weeks, over the months, over the years, and then watch yourself transform. I literally am not the same person my husband married almost 10 years ago, and he will tell you that. He will attest to that. And it's not a bad thing. I'm actually really glad that I have grown and I'm in a new place. And I'm grateful for we'll just call her the old Gabby. And I'm thankful for, I look at it as stepping stones in life. And I feel like I've landed on a really amazing place. And I know this is still a stepping stone, but I'm happy where I'm at with the things I'm pursuing and growing in and allowing to grow me still. But that, again, I've been married for almost 10 years, and this is where I am now, guys. Like, I would say even within the last 5 years was when I really began my transformation, that I didn't really know what I was getting into. Seriously, guys, I didn't know what I was getting into. So just recognize that those times when you face the resistance is when you give yourself that pat on the back and you are like, yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing and I'm sucking at it and I'm not even where I want to be. But yes, I'm up 2 pounds and I was still eating salads. But I'm doing the thing. Oh my gosh, guys, let's lighten it up. I can be very narrow-minded and focused and I can't so I'm learning to bring a little more joy and funny to, areas in my life. So just go for it, guys. Just have at it and have fun and embrace the challenges and stop waiting. Just do the dang thing, okay? I have had so many trials that have allowed me to learn to not settle for less and to not just stick with being comfortable. It's gotten me uncomfortable so many times. It's forced me to go through a lot of pain, trials in different areas, whether that was with parenting, with family relationships, with business, and just life in general, some ups and downs in life. But in relation to mainly just family and business and parenting and all those kinds of core values and areas of my life. And I recognize, especially, I noticed that when I pursued new things or I dug my feet in a little deeper into something that I've been in for a while, but I hadn't fully gone all the way in, that was exactly when I started to face more resistance. And I'm like, okay, God, I know you're here and I know you're going to get me through this, but I don't like this. This is exactly why I didn't want to, because this feels hard and I don't know if I want to keep going. And I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, because so often we tend to just want to wait until we know what we're doing. Well, guess what, guys? We are human, and half the time we aren't always going to know what we're doing. And I want to encourage you to continue to show up, regardless if it's perfect, and regardless if it's all organized on a spreadsheet, regardless if you have a massive action plan. You just have to start. And sometimes you have to fail forward. So, there are many things in my life, whether it's come to, my healthy eating with working out, or running, or, trying out new things for rooted in health. It's okay, I'm going to try this out and see how, try it on for size, see how it works. And, facing the challenges have come, and there are times when, okay, I learned from that and I can grow from that. That was not the right thing, but I'm glad I didn't wait any longer, because now I know that is not for me, or that was not the right approach. And so now I know how to try differently. I can come at it from a different angle. And so I have learned to not use the trials and the challenges to just set me back and put me in my tracks, stop me in my tracks. I've used it to start assessing, okay, what can I do better next time? Okay, or hey, I made a decision about something and oh, whoa, there's a little bit bigger price tag on that right now. Don't know that this is the time for that. Rather than saying no, what are some other resources out there that can get me closer to where I want to be, and maybe someday I can afford that price tagged item, okay? So you can't let piddly things, that's such a funny word, piddly. Those little things just stop you, okay? We're human, and we are so quick to find those excuses and be like, nope, okay, well, I guess that didn't work out, so I tried. When you were just looking for a way out. How many? Raise your hand. How many of you? Okay. So no matter what you have been or are pursuing, I want to tell you one key to the success of it all. It's consistency. okay? Not perfection, consistency. Showing up over and over and over, no matter the outcomes, the resistance you face. A day that nothing went right. Being consistent is the ultimate key to getting you to where you want to be in life. And if you're aiming for perfection or you're aiming to have all your ducks in a row, guess what? No one is perfect. No one can emulate that besides Jesus. Okay? No one's perfect. And guess what? Nobody can relate to perfect. Okay? Don't look at me and think I got it all together here. You guys, I seriously, this whole podcast thing, like, yeah, I took a course, but like, wow, I have so much to learn still, but here I am recording, and here I am. I actually remembered to select the right microphone this time, and I'm not perfect. I don't know what I'm doing all the time. I'm gonna have blips and mistakes along the way, and you know why I was willing to still pursue this podcast thing? It's because the people that showed up, I've watched them grow through the imperfections, and I didn't even care. I was actually like, you go, girl. Like, I'm going to keep listening to you, or I'm going to keep supporting you, or I'm going to keep following your journey because I relate to that. And so I want to be of an encouragement to you to show up even when it's not perfect, when you make a mistake, because we're all human and we can't relate to perfection. Like, it just doesn't happen. And so why are we waiting for that? Okay, so you're human, I'm human, we're all human, okay? And we're just a bunch of imperfect humans. No. We're just doing our best. And just hear me out. God is going to bless your efforts. He's not going to make it easy. And it's not necessarily him that's making it hard, okay? This is our fallen world, okay? So God's going to bless your efforts, and he will be your guide through the trials that come. He will give you the wisdom if you ask him. God, how do I keep moving forward? God, please show me some resources that I can use to get me X, Y, and Z. You actually have to talk to him. Okay? He doesn't promise no resistance. He doesn't promise easy, but he does promise to be faithful to you. If you allow him into your pursuits, into your passions, into your motherhood, into your business, your work, into anything that you do. Okay? My goal and ultimate hope is to just use this platform for good and to glorify God through this. And I will be praying over this podcast, over to each episode, over each of you that listen, that you would just be changed. Whether it was, I don't know, from this, or if it led you to something else. I'm just grateful for whoever is here and whatever this does and what impact it puts on your life and in your world. So I just hope that this time really encouraged you to stop waiting for perfect, stop waiting for the stars to align, stop all the things, and just do. And just pick one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself with all the things that you feel you should be doing. There's that saying that goes around, stop shoulding on yourself, okay? Just be you, okay? And just stop waiting for the right time, because it's never going to be the right time. Life is going to keep happening. Job losses, new babies, death, moving, whether it's rain or shine or snow or, whatever. Don't let the weather affect you. No matter what comes your way in life, you have to learn to embrace that and use it to push you forward. So with that being said, guys, please let me know your takeaways. I love hearing all that you guys have to share. Share this on your social media, on your Instagrams. Email me your takeaways. Share it with a friend or a loved one that you know needs to hear this encouragement. And I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I can't wait to chat with you next time. Have a great week.